So there is this advice. It's simply an advice that refers to simply becoming very detached, becoming very non-attached to, well, what will I do in life? What's my destiny? Should I take care of the good karma or of the bad karma, and so on and so forth. So it's meant as an advice for some specific people that he was talking to at that time, to simply relax into being, to be silent, to not worry about good karma and bad karma. Let things be as they be, but you remain present. You remain in this silence and stillness. Patanjali also has some advice about karma. And he says something which sounds to be different. He says, when the yogi practices, if he starts becoming aware of the future karma, the agami karma, he should try to cut it. He or she should try to do something to reduce their karma or to avoid it or to burn it. Yes? So what does this mean? It sounds to be two opposite advices, but it's the same advice. Because Patanjali is simply speaking from the perspective of the personality. Whereas Ramana before was speaking from the perspective of self-inquiry, where you are resting in the deepest presence of your being. So rest in the deepest presence of your being and don't do anything. Let things be. This is very good. This one can work. The other one would be, as long as you still cannot rest in that sense of being, in that depth of your being, then if you see karma coming your way, then try your best to avoid it, to reduce it. So if you see you greedy, selfish, or also doing things that are deterring you from your spiritual practice, tendencies, well, I'm lazy, I don't feel like waking up at 4 a.m. I know if I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m., then I'm not going to do a good meditation. So then, knowing this, take action. Don't be a fatalist that just follows your destiny. Because in that present moment, you have the power to change that personal karma, to change the capacity of your awareness. So you say, well, if I fall asleep at 4, then I'm going to go to sleep at 9 or 8 to have a good sleep. Or I move my meditation, instead of being at 4, to be at 6. But at least I won't fall asleep. You see? So you can take action. No one says that in the present moment you cannot take action. You are forming the universe. Another way to look at karma is the fact that this very present moment, with all its potentialities, and as I mentioned before, with the momentum of your thoughts, your memories, your beliefs, opinions, and everything which is there, all of these things here are what the reality is. It's the manifestation of the reality in this very present moment. This is the truth. This is the ultimate truth. The surface of the ultimate truth. It also has a profundity to it that means that this is the layer that we see right now with our human eyes, but it's still, this is the very present moment. However, to this layer, there's also a background of awareness, of stillness. There's a deeper background to this which exists. So we can start becoming more and more of the totality of all that is right now in this moment. And everything can be perceived as expressing from the physical human domain towards this profundity, or we can perceive that from this depth, from this presence, from this self, everything becomes self-effulgent. It expresses itself at this moment. And all that exists and all that is this very existence. So we can have a different realization about this present moment. But it's very difficult to come to this deepening if we continue to not be present to the present moment. If we keep getting lost in thoughts, opinions, or getting stuck in the past, if we are not bringing the presence and awareness to what is happening right now. If this is the truth, then the best way to discover the ultimate truth is to practice the best truth that you can practice, which is to be present here. You see? So we can look at our karma in a different way as well. Our karma is every single thing which has accumulated into this awareness that is localized around this human being as a soul that has a sense of identity, separate identity, which is being expressed surrounding this soul, this human being, in this very present moment, as now. Understanding that even in this present moment, there are some seeds of karma, deeper within us, which are not yet being expressed, that they would want to come to the surface. You see? So another way of looking at doing karma yoga would be to remain at the surface, very present, aware and present of everything, the best that you can do, of the deepest that you can do right now, and to try to not be attached to let these ones go, to not react to them. And what happens as you do this, moment by moment, present moment by present moment, then this karma starts dissipating, and then the deeper kernel of karmas come up, and they come up, they start dissipating, deeper kernels of karma, and eventually all those obstacles that are veils to your deepest nature will end up becoming transparent. They will end up becoming something that you no longer, it's a tendency that you react to, but you'll be able to remain present to it and to see through it. And the more we become transparent, the more we see through all these different layers of our being and rest deeper in the sense of presence, existence, the more we stabilize in this depth, in this beauty, in this reality. Some people are afraid that if you transcend the ego and the personality, then what will become of me? What should happen to me? And maybe I shouldn't go deep in meditation trying to do this. Well, you should be so lucky to go deep in meditation once and to transcend the ego and for it to disappear forever. This is exactly the problem, because the moment of it is still here. So it doesn't disappear, it hangs around, and if you're not stable enough, you keep going back into it and then back out of it and go into it and out of it. And the practice of karma yoga, it's exactly the one that tells you you can take it in a formal way, like we are doing it in the karma yoga immersion course right now. 4 hours every day, you are entering with a specific perspective and a way of thinking in your mind, a way of understanding, of being present, whatever that day brings, because there are different subtle exercises or perspectives, and you simply enter into it, and of course you come in and you come out. You come in, you come out. There will be struggles, there will be emotions, there will be resistances, there will be all sorts of things, but you'll be completely unaware of any of these things if you didn't do that act of whatever you're doing as a karma yoga in presence. Without that, there will be just things happening without your awareness, or they will seem as a common thing. And this is something that we can discover, we can purify, we can develop. So karma yoga is not only a path of purification, is not only a path that takes the meditation and marries it to our common, ordinary lives as a human being, but it's also the end itself. Because if we can call it the end, you would be the expression, the spontaneity of the dynamism of the deepest reality of existence itself through a human being. You see? So it's something that is very powerful and very much connected to self-inquiry. So, a few ways in which we can do a formal karma yoga practice, I would say, is you can start with little things, with little acts of karma yoga, watering a plant, doing random kinds of random acts of kindness that no one sees you, arranging the shoes, watering the plant, washing somebody's dish, as an act of selfless volunteering kind of work in this way. You can eat, for example, while you're eating. You can become utterly present while you are eating. In Bhagavad Gita, they are giving a formula for somehow starting or doing this karma yoga in a way that brings a constant reiteration of certain elements. And there Krishna tells to Arjuna, and he says, well, it's very important that you become detached from your actions. You are an actor. Don't get caught into the role. Yes? You are Hamlet. You are having an act in a play like this. You are communicating and acting with your other actors which are there. But at the end of the day, after the play is over, you're going to meet in a bar and share a glass of kombucha, right? So you would be there sharing together, but you don't continue to be Hamlet. You're not going to take the straw and try to stab the king, or I don't know what, because you think you're Hamlet and he's the king. You would simply be you. Yes, you are removing a mask out of yourself. Well, in the same way, this detachment or this non-attachment from whatever we are doing is like removing a mask. Is like going to a deeper, more stable dimension of our being. And everything else is still there, but we no longer take ourselves to be just that. Yes? So, to become detached from the actions and to offer the fruits of your actions to the Supreme Reality. Krishna says, offer it to me. Yes? So to offer it to the Supreme Reality. So that means that you want no rewards from it. You don't want anything in the future. You are not doing it for a specific purpose. But I'm also detached from success and failure. That means whatever needs to get done, needs to get done. No success, no failure, and no fruits. I offered this entire thing to the Supreme Reality with a consecration. That means that I, in a detachment and offering the fruits of this action, I bring consecrare, with sacredness. I bring a sense of sacredness to my actions. I bring a sense of sacredness to this present moment. If this present moment suddenly became a sacred moment, how would it be like? You'd be spacious, you'd be quiet, you'd be radiant, you'd be meaningful. You be very touching. You be like a vibrance. If you remember a sacred moment in your life, yes, it's a moment of aliveness, of resting. You don't think in that moment you are resting, but something is very fresh, very alive, very tangible. His life is painted in very vivid colors. Very loving. There's a lot of love, a lot of openness, a lot of transparency. So, to consecrate before you start a formal act of karma yoga would mean to constantly bring this sacredness. It's not just something that you did in the beginning. Now I consecrate this Hatha Yoga class to the Supreme Reality. Now let's do it, It's more like, now I consecrate this Hatha Yoga to the Supreme Reality. Now I'm in a sacredness. I'm detached from whatever is, success or failure, detached from the fruits. I'm offering the fruits of it. And now I'm going to try to continue to act in this way. So when I bring my hands to my chest, it's a sacred movement. When I bring the palms up, it's a sacred movement. I am here with my entire being. I am doing an act, a ritual, a presence. I am offering this body to the sky. I'm saying, yes, I'm expressing a longing of my heart. And that is a different Hatha Yoga than the one where you're sitting there saying, please say, that will do. Please say, that's enough. Please say, bring your arms down. You be there, exalted in a moment of sacredness. So, when we do karma yoga, we are not doing it. When we are practicing karma yoga, yes, when we are practicing karma yoga, that spontaneity of that presence, of that present moment, that love, that radiance of your being, that depth, that intimacy with that moment, that sacredness is there again and again and again. It is as if you are inviting the Supreme Reality to be there with you. It's not you sweeping the floor. It is something much more profound sweeping the floor in this moment. Because of this, that act, it is a sacred practice in itself. It does not require a reward. So let's finish with a moment of silence, a short moment of silence. You can rebring that consecration that we did earlier for the rest of the evening. Thank you for your presence tonight. Good luck with practicing karma yoga.